My glasses make me look smarter, but I don't know if I should be wearing them because glare.
So this is my first YouTube video, and basically I am a 20-year-old sociology student, and I'm very opinionated, and I have a lot to say, but I don't have too many people to say it to. So my mom and I kind of thought that, hey, maybe I could make a YouTube channel or a blog or something. And yeah, we decided on a YouTube channel, and that's what I'm doing. So basically what I'm going to talk about today is kind of controversial, but this is just going to be my opinions and my sociological standpoint on things. I'm going to talk about gender roles today, and I'm going to touch on feminism just a little bit. Okay, basically what happened is on the first day of class, my teacher asked us a seemingly straightforward question: what makes a boy and what makes a girl a girl? That's a question that there's a lot of layers to. You could answer it biologically and just say genitals, or you could answer it on a much deeper level, which is what I'm going to dive into. Our professor said you can separate yourselves into one of three categories. You can say that what makes a boy and a girl is strictly biological. You can say that it's strictly sociological, and that it's a little bit of both. So I was in the group that said it's strictly sociological. Which would kind of surprising to me because there was only about 6 to 7 people in my group, which was surprising because it seems like that would be the straightforward and correct answer. So I think before we got into this question, I think that the main problem was that a lot of people don't see a difference between gender and sex, which were used synonymously until fairly recently. I heard people saying gender and sex interchangeably, which is incorrect. So the best definition that I can give is that of my textbook and that of my professor, and basically my definition is that sex is a biological thing and gender is sociological and psychological. So the thing is, I live in a southern state, so this conversation was bound to be pretty heated. So I'll begin by explaining the arguments that the biological group gave.
A boy is a boy and a girl is a girl from the moment of conception.
It's all in your DNA. Your chromosomes decide what and who you are.
And my most favorite, and in my opinion, the least correct answer:
You are born with whatever genitals you are born with, and nothing can change that. If you're born with male genitals, you're a male. End of story.
Now, listening to this, I'm like screaming inside. I'm gonna start with that first argument that your sex is your sex from the moment of conception. That's not correct, because at the moment of conception, when you're this tiny, you don't have a sex. But for anybody who doesn't know, all fetuses start off as female, which explains why men have nipples, which serve no function to them. And the next argument: your sex is in your chromosomes, not in your DNA, and that, which makes the third argument correct on some level, but I really hate the wording, because the thing is, having a dick does not mean that you're a man. All it means is that you have a dick. And I'm not even gonna waste time talking about the group who said that what makes a boy and a girl is a little bit biological and a little bit sociological, because those are two opposing arguments and you can't say that. So now for my group, which my professor so affectionately called the only ones with brains. Basically, what my small group said is that it's not your biology, it's you and your brain and your body and your mind and you alone, you and your soul. That's it. And that was the main argument of my group, but that didn't really make me happy, because that is true on some level, but society does have a role in this. This may be surprising, but my group's argument turned into a conversation about gender roles.
I fucking hate gender roles.
One argument that was made was that you learn your gender, which is actually ridiculous, but I kind of get the argument that was trying to be made. Gender roles teach us how to act and how to dress and all that other stuff, but it's not telling you what your gender should be. It's telling you how you should act depending on your born with sex. The thing is that American society is a patriarchy.
Down with the patriarchy!
And the thing is, it's been a patriarchy since Adam and Eve. The patriarchy says the man should be taking care of the woman. He should be making the money. He should be doing the physical work. The woman should be taking care of the children and cleaning and cooking. And they should be helpless without their big, strong man. And we start enforcing this before the child is even born. You know, at baby showers, when people bring all these toys and presents for the unborn baby, you'll notice a very common theme. They will get toys in whatever color based on what the baby's sex is going to be. And as life goes on, it's still enforced. There's a man who's slightly feminine. People think, well, oh shit, he must be gay. There's a girl who's a tomboy or not super feminine. She must be a lesbian. The thing that I want more people to realize is that gender roles are a sociological construct, meaning we created them ourselves. Humans created gender roles. And I think that humans should be the ones to break down gender roles and destroy them. We surround our children from day one, you know. As soon as you take your baby out from the hospital, they're wearing a pink or blue blanket. Our gender roles are extremely outdated, and the patriarchy is outdated, and saying that the only possible genders are male and female, that's also outdated. There's lots of genders, and the genders that my class was talking about was ignorant because they're leaving out the whole possibility of transgender or transsexual, depending on how you prefer to call it, people who are agender. But there's still so many more. People can be gender fluid, people can be androgynous. There's so many more that I don't even know. So basically the consensus, the conclusion of my class was that yes, it is sociological. Women only started working in the late 60s, early 70s, which is really crazy that before that women sat at home and were housewives, and that's all they did and didn't really contribute to society. And today we're still paid 80 cents for every dollar that a man makes for the same job. And I raised that point in class, and a counter argument to that was, well, the only reason that the woman makes 20 less cents than the man is because she's a girl, and that's the only reason. And that made me furious, because that is the exact reason that we need feminism. Basically, the thing is, just having different genitals shouldn't mean that you are treated any differently. And I actually recently had a conversation with somebody from the Human Rights Campaign. This is their logo. I'm sure you've seen it everywhere. I have one on my laptop, one on my car. A volunteer for Human Rights Campaign let me know that in a lot of states, people who are transgender, they can be evicted from their houses for their how they choose to identify. They can be fired, they can be denied loans. Like it or not, we're all humans and we have to be treated the same. Your genitalia shouldn't define who you are. That's it for right now. Stay informed, stay opinionated, and bye.